Hey guys, so I promised you today a little Monday magic, and I brought on live with me Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, who is the proud creator of her deck of cards, where the chakra numerology cosmic forecast energy deck. And I brought her here just to kind of give you guys some inspiration on how you can do card readings. And Joanne does such a great job at it that she's always online, inviting people, engaging with people to see the magic of her deck. So I thought it would be fun in real time to introduce her and let her do a little reading, and maybe kind of a collective reading if any of you are watching this live, but like a collective reading of what's out in the world today for us. But so Joanne, you have had your cards for a couple months now, right?
Yes, I think I've had them since sometime mid-March, if I'm not mistaken.
Awesome. And everybody has gotten to see you in that wonderful we're good, we're going in that wonderful Long Island Strong cable
My TV show, yes. Yes,
so you have
TV
show. You have a TV show going on too, but what I love is your consistency with the way you do things, and that every Friday night you've gotten people very used to the fact that you're doing Friday night intuition. And I see that, you show up every Friday night, other times too, but that's pretty much your consistent time. Is it true?
Yes, that is true.
Yeah. And then I see people, picking the cards that they want you to talk about and actually really engaging with you. So,
yes.
I mean, that is what we were actually talking about that today is the way that you engage your community with the cards and stuff like that. So would you like to give a card reading and kind of show us what you do?
Of course. And I'll just give an introduction to how it works and what I do with the cards. So to start off with, I always shuffle the cards out, just to get the energy to move. And if I was doing a card reading for one specific person, I would focus in on that person's energy. Otherwise, if I'm doing a collective reading, which means for anyone and everyone who's with us now, or even during the replay, if this gets a chance to replay, anyone who tunes into this actual live will benefit from the reading, because I collectively go into universal energy. And when it's a universal energy, usually what I'll do is I'll say a little prayer in reference to I'm looking to reach for the most highest good of everyone watching and participating, looking to reach their energy and what they need to hear for that particular day and what they need to vibrate at, and which chakra they need to focus in on, or which chakra is helping them to guide them. And also, because my card deck works with numbers as well, what number is vibrating with them and what number is following them throughout the day. And then upon doing that, I'm continuing to shuffle the cards, and energetically, my fingers will energetically pull out a card that is going to resonate with that energy that I set the prayer to. And I have the card right now. And usually, I'll let you know, like this particular card is showing in reverse. And what that means is when a card is in reverse, the energy is very important behind this message. And I like to say, because it was a collective message, this energy is important for everyone listening. Whether they're listening with us right now or they come back and watch this later, everyone needs to hear this message. So I'm going to show you that the card is in reverse, so hopefully you can see. All right, I'm going to bring it upright. And because there are 3 things to this card, I usually start off with the affirmation. And the affirmation is clarity. We all need to have some form of clarity. And that clarity is going to show up one way or another, whether it's in reference to a number, which we'll talk about with this card, or something somebody might actually say to you in some point of your day. Someone's going to bring clarity to you to something that you've been asking about. So that's the word clarity. Now, when we talk about the actual chakras, the one that we have here is the heart center. Now, the heart center has 2 colors associated, pink and green. For this card, it's pink. And the pink represents self-love. So it's not just your everyday love. This is self-love. This is what you're doing for you to bring more love for yourself so you can attract more love. Because one thing I'm sure we're all agreeing on is that we all want to be loved. But until we love ourselves unconditionally, we're not going to be able to receive any love that's surrounding us if we do not do it for ourselves. So it always starts with self. So how does self-love show up for you? You know, how does self-care come into play? What do you do to take care of yourself that in return you will be able to receive that from other people? So that's what the Heart Center is talking about for today. Self-love, self-care. And do you have a self-care practice? So that's what that's all about. And then when we talk about the numerology, which is 2 and 9. Now, before I bring it down to a single digit, I always like to talk about both numbers because both numbers have energy behind it, which makes the single digit. So we have a 2 energy here, which brings us into our partnership, which makes sense because of the self-love. Now, the most important partnership anybody can have is with themselves. If you don't have a partnership with yourself, you're not going to be able to connect with other people on the outside. So you really have to draw a real self-care practice so you're able to receive love from other people. So I like to say, what do you love about yourself? Focus on what you love about yourself. And by focusing on that and really feeling it and doing it, you will begin to attract more of that in and be able to receive it, as opposed to focusing on all the things we don't like about ourselves. So that's that 2 energy of partnership. And once we get to that energy and really fine tuning the unconditional love for self, we can then attract the partnerships we're looking to have. And that's whether it's in a intimate relationship or even a career, because that falls into place in both areas. It's not primarily for relationships. It's the relationship you have with your career as well. So how much are you loving what you do in your career? And how much self-care do you put into your career as well? So it can go in both directions, not specifically for an intimate relationship, but also for your career. And then we have a 9 energy. So that 9 energy is, what can you do to let go of the things that no longer serves yourself on a higher level? So really looking at the things that you've done in your past or currently that really are no longer serving you. So if you have a business, for say, and that particular thing that you're doing isn't really working out anymore, maybe it's time to either revise it or let it go and call something new in to replace that space. And when we think about that 9 energy, it's also about decluttering your space internally and decluttering the space externally. And we always start with the internal first before we actually can do the external. And it's interesting because most people do it the other way around. Most people declutter the things around them, and they very rarely declutter themselves on the internal level. And if we really learn to do it the other way around, where we focus inward first and then go out, we'd be a better match for the things we're looking to attract because we start in and then go out. And that's that 9 energy as well, which is all about a transformation. How are we transforming into being a better version of who we are, whether it's in our intimate life or in our careers? And now we're going to take those 2 numbers together. So we have a 2 and 9, which brings us to a powerful 11 energy. Now the 11 energy is a master number. Now a master number, what that actually means, is a higher calling. Every number that is a double digit, such as 11, 22, 33, etc., it's always followed by that single digit energy, but on a higher calling. So when we have that 11, that one energy is being independent, being a leader, starting something brand new, but then you're following it with another one. So it makes it really, really powerful. That makes it into a 2 energy. And that 2 energy comes from our higher self of, again, partnership on a higher level. So we're not just talking about your everyday partnership. We're talking about getting involved with a partnership that's going to serve you on the most highest level possible. And in order to attract that, you really have to work on the partnership with self on a higher level first, recognizing what it is you truly desire, what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So you definitely know what you do like and what you don't like. Because once you know what you don't like, you can eliminate it And then you make space for all the things that you do like, and then you become in alignment to it, and then begin to attract it. So that's that Chu energy right there. So now when we think about all that, between the affirmation, the heart center, and your number, we have a lot of information here in reference to gaining clarity. And that's how card readings go. It gives you guidance. It helps to raise your vibration, resets your energy, and of course, helps you with gaining clarity. And I'm hoping that this card reading has definitely resonated. If not with the affirmation, maybe the heart chakra, and definitely the number. But if not all three, at least one thing I'm hoping resonated with everyone collectively. Does that resonate with you, Rosie?
Well, it actually really resonated with me. I mean, all of it. I thought it was great. And I mean, the self-love piece, like that's just a daily practice we have to tap into. But I love what you said about decluttering from the inside first.
Yes.
Because I think that we kind of forget about that. We have so much crap going on in there, so many random thoughts that are useless and not really serving us, right? But it's super powerful reading because you have so many different things you're talking about: the chakra, the color, the number, the message. How did you come up with this idea of all these pieces together? The moon, the energy.
Well, I mean, how I came up with it is each one of these energies are things that I like individually. Like I'm very much attracted to the full moon, as I am a Cancer rising, and as a Cancer rising, we're ruled by the moon. So I become very much alive when we have a full moon and even a new moon out there. And I myself love working with my chakras because every day I believe that, including myself, we all should definitely invite ourselves to working with our chakras on a daily basis to help realign the energy within ourselves so we can actually be in alignment to the things we really want to have in our lives. Because it's not just about getting up and writing out a journal and sitting in quiet. It's really about aligning the energy within yourself to attract what it is you truly want. And because if one or more of your chakras are not in alignment, those chakras are preventing us from reaching what it is we truly want to have. And on top of that, if the chakras are not in alignment and there's something going on a much deeper level, the chakras will eventually create a physical discomfort in the body that very well may show up as physical pain, or if not illness or disease. So it's really important to work on the chakras, which is why I chose to include that. And I love numbers. And when we think about it, we are surrounded by numbers. I mean, there's not a thing that I can't imagine anyone saying to me, well, I don't see numbers any day in my day. Because I don't think it's even possible because we are surrounded by numbers. When you dial a phone number, you have to use a number.
Right.
When you're looking for someone's
actually, now we just push the button. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, theoretically speaking, in order to push that button, you had to put that number in the phone. Right. But we're surrounded by numbers. Everything is a number. So because everything is a number, that means those numbers have a vibration to it, and that vibration is connected to us because of everything being connected around energy with numbers in itself. And then affirmations. I mean, it's like the biggest thing right now. I don't know if we want to use the word trend or fad or whatever it is, but affirmations are extremely important. Starting our day or first thing in the morning is setting out an intention or an affirmation to moving into our day of what we expect our day to be like. I think the most interesting thing is for many of us, many people out there really have no idea how powerful they really are. And if we all get in the habit of just setting an intention and an affirmation first thing in the morning and visualizing that into our day, we literally can create the day that we truly want to have. Yeah. But most of us are not using these tools. And because we're not using the tools, we're not attracted to the days and the outcomes and the events and the different things that we truly want to have in our lives. We're not attracting it because we're not using the tools to do that. And we do all have the tools. They're there.
So I have a question on that note of your cards being a tool. So I had someone ask me, well, why do why do you think that cards, because you know how if you pull a card, no matter really what it is, you always seem to get the card that really resonates with what's going on with you. It's like it's magical, really. So I had somebody
Yes.
ask me, why do you think that works? So I'm going to ask you why does it work that you're able to collectively tap into, and have people say, oh my God, that so resonates with me. What do you think it is about that?
That was a good one. I wish you would have cued me for that beforehand. Um,
I mean, we're a
I
little
think
woo-woo. We're a little like woo. We believe in of course, we believe in energy. We believe in that everything comes when you need it. We know all that, but to explain that to someone that doesn't really get that.
I think what it really is that when someone is pulling a card, um, and they're pulling the card, and when they get the card, and they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that that's exactly what I needed to hear." Even, for example, and I think you've experienced this as well by watching my show on Sundays. Sometimes people will pull a card, they'll ask a question, but it's not the question they really want to ask. And they pull a
Mm,
card, but the card that they're pulling is actually answering the question they didn't ask.
that's
Now, now,
interesting.
the, now the big question is, how does the cards do that? Because the reality of it all is it's energy. So if energetically you are actually thinking something and your hands are going over the cards to pull out the card, energetically, you're going to pull out what you're energetically thinking.
I love that. That and
And
that.
that's
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
and that's really what it is that energetically it's what's in your brain, energetically is what you're attracting.
Yeah.
So again, it's really important, and I think you've said this a few times in your lives. It's really important to what it is we actually speak about, what it is we listen to, what it is we watch, because all that is energy, and that's what we're attracting. So if we're attracting things in our experience that we sit back and say, well, why the heck am I attracting this? Well, you might want to take a step back and say, is this what I'm really thinking about? Is this what I'm talking about? Is this what I'm listening to? Because this is not what I want in my path. And you have that, you can magically change that just by changing your whole thought process.
Yeah, what's interesting when I was thinking about, okay, what am I going to ask her like as a card reading? And then we said we can do a collective one for everyone to kind of tap into. But I was like, I don't know what I want to ask her. I don't really think I feel like hearing an answer to that question today. So I think we could play head games with ourselves too, like you're saying, like we're asking the wrong question perhaps, and not.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And when you really think about it, there really is no such thing as a wrong question.
Hmm,
Because any question you have is a question. But it's like you just said, sometimes we don't want to hear the answer
hmm,
to the question,
interesting.
because we think it's going to be something we don't want to hear. But again, I think when we do a card reading or whatever the cards are, it's just confirming what you already believe or what you already know. It's confirming it. And sometimes if you're not willing to ask that question because you already know the answer, well, it's
Right.
only going to confirm what you already know. And if you know the answer to it and that's not the answer you want to hear, then the big question is, well, what can you do to change the situation so it can work out for your most highest good?
So Joanne, we have Donna Blevins with us today, and she's
Yeah,
asking if you would be willing to pull a card for her. Is there anything
definitely.
do you need to know anything from her, or you'll just tap in and?
Well, ask her first if she has a specific question she'd like guidance on.
Well, I guess she can hear you. So she says, yeah. So you can hear that, Donna. Do you have a specific question that you'd like some guidance on? And we'll just wait to see if
Yes, because I don't think I can hear her.
she's clapping her hands. I'm clapping my hands. So, do you have a question, Donna? As Joanne's shuffling to do a reading for you.
Yes, I'm just coming out of the collective and moving into Donna's energy.
Is the draft, okay, so this is what she's asking. Is the draft on my companion journal good enough?
Okay, is the draft on her companion journal good enough? Now, I also read energy without cards.
Mm. You can put a little of that in there too.
What's that?
You can put a little of that in there too. Put a little of your magic in to the whole thing.
Yes. So without even pulling a card out, the answer I get is yes. But we're going to also go with the cards and see what kind of insight they have. And here's the card just to show you. It's the upside. I love this pink card.
That's my
And it
favorite.
is in, yes, this is in reverse, okay? All right, this is in reverse. And what it's actually saying is the affirmation here is old soul. So what I like, Donna can hear me, yes?
Yep, Donna hears you.
Okay. What it's saying here is, now in reference to the question that she's asking, it may not sound like it's going to answer the question, but I actually do believe it will. What it's saying here is the card here is old soul. So someone has crossed over, and whether she's aware of this or not, what she's working on is actually in honor of that is in honor of that person that she's working on, whatever she's working on. What is she actually working on? A deck of cards, or
she's working on a journal. So Dawn, do you want to explain that a little more? She's doing a journal, and she's going to have cards that go with the journal, and I believe she also has a book with that. Just confirm that, Donna, please, for us. Just kind of give her a second.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not okay. She says the companion journal for my book that goes along with the book. So she has a book called Mind Shift on Demand. So she's making a companion journal to go along with that book.
All right. Ask her if the name Mitch or Mitchell means anything to her.
So Donna, she can hear you too.
Oh, okay. Does the name
I can
Mitch?
see her typing, but yeah.
Does the name Mitch or Mitchell mean anything to you?
She says no.
Okay. I'm getting that it does. She may not be aware yet, but I'm getting that she does. And that's what this old soul is about. That maybe the person either went by that name as a middle name, or as a child, that person was called that. But whatever it is, it may come to her later. But what I am, in reference to her question on if this is resonating for her, yes, it is. And the yellow is the solar plex. So the solar plex is all about trusting your intuition, trusting that you're on the right path with the project that you are working on, and do not second guess yourself, is what I'm getting. And when we think about the numbers associated, we have a 2 and a 6. That 2 is that partnership with the old soul. So this person from your past was crossed over, is with you in this process of working on what you're working on. And the 6 energy is the journal that you are working on and the cards that you are working on. That 6 energy is all about, that's going to help people heal. So it's a healing process that you're working on with this project you have going. And when you have that 2 and 6 energy, you have an 8. So this project's going to bring major abundance into your life. Major abundance into your life, because it's going to help people heal. And you're actually going to, from what I'm hearing, you're going to actually take this project one step further, which is actually going to help you heal as well.
Well, she is taking it into a deck of cards, so that's going to be good. She's saying something, yellow power center abundance. That's what she's saying.
Yes, yes, yes. And when we think about that yellow, it is about abundance and trusting the abundance and not second guessing what you're doing.
Awesome.
Is what I hear really, really loud. Not to second guess what you're doing. You're definitely on the right path. And when you have some time, just to sit quietly to see if you can connect with that Mitch or Mitchell, because that's significant. There's somebody in your past you knew by the name of Mitch or Mitchell, whether it was a nickname, a middle name, or someone's friend of some sort, but it's going to come to you. And when it does, it's going to have a meaning to what you're doing with your cards and your journal.
Awesome. Awesome.
Does that help you, Donna?
Donna says 2 partner plus 6 family equals 8 abundance, and she's in full gear.
Okay, that's what we need to know.
All right. So this has been great. So Joanne, if anyone that is watching this, or any of my creators here want to see what you do on a consistent basis on Friday nights, she says thank you. Where can they go see your Friday Night Intuition? What time is it, and where are they seeing it? I'll post it right here in the link.
Okay. Well, it's directly on my Facebook page, Jab Barry, and it's the actual card pull takes place. I post the cards on early Friday morning or Thursday night, so they can go to my page anytime after midnight on Thursday, on Friday morning rather, and they can pull the cards from there. And then after 5 p.m., they can reach, they'll be able to come online on Facebook Live with me, and I give the card intuition then. However, as of November, this is going to become a private event. So if this is something they're interested in taking advantage of, they can connect with me. They can message me to get more information about that. And then they can take on that's the Friday intuition as part of the service, and it's a very inexpensive service.
So you've been for a couple months now offering all of this for free, consistently offering your services for free with the card pullings, and then you decided to turn it into a small. It's almost like a membership site, like a micro membership, because it's a small amount of money where they're connected to you. They get all these personal readings and group readings with you.
Yes, what will happen, should they decide to do the monthly membership, they'll actually receive 1 monthly free reading from me and also 1 free text reading from me. So theoretically, 2 free readings with the membership. If they just want to do it where they pay weekly, then they just pay weekly for it.
I love it.
But
so you've actually took this deck of cards and created the whole thing around the cards, which I think is amazing. And hopefully when everyone is tuned in to listen, they will be inspired by what they can do. Although no one is doing, obviously, no one could do exactly what you do. No one's doing the right now, the type of card that you're doing for that exact reading. But I think it's almost that you could really do this with, you could do readings with almost any kind of card.
Sure.
It's giving someone something to aspire to, and to like take the next step. So
exactly. And even with the cards, for that matter, if they had their own deck, they can use the card on a daily basis for themselves and pull a card out for daily inspiration for themselves. So it's not even the point of just getting a reading. It's using it for themselves as well, where they can just shuffle, pull a card each day, become aware of what chakra they need to focus in on, the affirmation they have going, and also the number, because every number has a specific energy behind it and a specific meaning behind it.
So you've actually been teaching people also is another thing that you do. You actually teach people how to use your deck, which is another.
That's correct.
Yes. It's another super cool thing. So they might look at it and say, well, I don't really know how to do, but I want to learn a little more and do other people. So you're like spreading the word, spreading, which is super powerful, super cool.
Yes, exactly. It's sharing is caring.
There you go. I love that.
There you go.
Somebody's quote somewhere, but it works. All right. Joanne, I thank you so much. This has been really fun, really so interesting. And I just feel that there's just so much. I am just so intrigued with decks and the power behind them and the power they have to like just that small little thing that's enough to move someone into a different state of thinking and being. And so it's really super cool. So thanks for sharing your wisdom. And I hope everybody tunes in to just see what you're up to, because you're up to such good stuff.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for allowing me to get in your energy and everyone else's, and to share my wisdom. And most importantly, thank you for helping to create these, because you allowed my vision to become my reality. And that's the most important part of this, is that you bring people's visions into realities. And
Okay.
that's a big thing.
Nice.
So thank you
Thank
for that.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Yes.